Welcome back to the James McGee Show. I am your host. I am James McGee. So yesterday, a few people were arrested, rightfully arrested. It took long enough, Pam Bondi, but rightfully were arrested for the Domestic Terrorist Act of barging to a church five days ago. Good for you, Justice Department. Time for you to get. It was about time that you got off your ass. So the one person that was not arrested, which is disappointing, was Don Lemon, the organizer of this. It's obvious. He said it. He organized this, or he helped organize it. He was a big part of this, but he wasn't arrested. So I feel like it's white privilege. Don Lemon was not arrested because of white privilege. How's that, Don? Because you're married to a white man, you get white privilege. That's what it is. No, see, that's what people like Don Lemon, and I guess not like Don Lemon, that's what Don Lemon has hung his hat on for years. Was he built his brand off of racism, white privilege, being being oppressed because he's gay, and he can't complete a sentence without saying that he's gay. Don, look, we know that you're gay. We don't care that you're gay. We do also know that you are black, and nobody cares that you're black. What people care about is that you're a piece of shit. You're a criminal, and you're an absolute terrible, horrible, disgusting, vile human being. That's what people don't like about you. They could care less that you are married to a white man and that you sleep with the white man every night at the same time as you hate white people. We don't care about that. What we care about is the privilege, how you keep getting away with things because you're an elitist, Don. You're an elitist. And we do have a privilege problem in this nation. It's not white privilege. It is an elitist privilege of all races. Don Lemon is just the latest example. P. Diddy, years that he got away with, the things that he got away with. O.J. Simpson, Bill Clinton, and the rest of the billionaires that got away with the things they did on Epstein Island. That's an elitist privilege problem. We have an elitist problem in this country. So absolutely, is there a two-tiered justice system? There absolutely is a two-tiered justice system, and our system, because of that, is broken. But it's not because you're white. If you have money, if you have influence, just like the what we saw yesterday, just another example, what we saw yesterday was an elitist privilege issue. And that needs to stop in America. Don Lemon broke the law. Don Lemon is now taunting the Justice Department and saying he's going to break the law again. So let's explore of how he got. Look, it's just one magistrate who's just pretty much a magistrate is an assistant to a federal judge. It's an attorney that's a buffer, more of a filter to a federal judge. So the federal judge can go play golf or whatever and doesn't have to deal with signing warrants. That's what a magistrate is. And let's dive into this magistrate. This magistrate, a federal judge. Let's dive into the federal judges first. A federal judge is appointed by the president. Well, obviously there are, I don't know, hundreds, thousands federal judges, district judges. The president does not personally appoint those. He rubber stamps those, auto pins those. It's very localized on how federal judges are appointed. A couple months ago, we talked about the blue slip issue that senators get to screw over people that they don't want. They're political enemies. This blue slip deal that the senators get to do. Well, it's very localized in the appointment of federal judges. So there's a lot of local politics involved in appointing federal judges. So that comes into play. So then the federal judge, now they have to be confirmed by Congress, right? By the Senate. Well, then they get this magistrate who is normally a friend of theirs, somebody that they know. Well, this magistrate is hired by them, by the federal judge. There's no confirmation process. There's no approval process. It's who the uh, federal judge wants. Now, they put some sort of committee. It's a sham. It's the federal judge picks the committee, and the committee knows who the federal judge wants. That's how this thing works. I've been involved in that personally, have firsthand knowledge of this. It's not something I'm assuming. I absolutely know what I am talking about when it comes to local federal district judges being picked. The local federal judge where I live is a stand-up guy. Know him well, straight up good guy. His magistrate is a good guy. I've been knowing him my whole life. Really good guy. But that's not the case. That's not the case in a lot of places. So let's look at the case of the federal magistrate that refused to sign the warrant on Don Lemon. His wife, the magistrate's wife, is an attorney. Guess where she works? She is an assistant state attorney general. In what state? Minnesota. Who's the attorney general in Minnesota? Keith Ellison. Keith Ellison is, this is a strong statement. I do understand when I say this how strong of a statement that it is. Keith Ellison is more disgusting, more racist than Tim Walz, Ilhan Omar, and Jacob Fry, all three put together. Yeah, I get it. I know that, man. I know that's a strong statement. Keith Ellison is the reason why he's the most corrupt politician, I feel like, in the nation. Keith Ellison is the reason why 4 innocent policemen went to prison over the sham of the drug addict criminal George Floyd, who died of a drug overdose. Keith Ellison is the one that orchestrated, had autopsies, medical examiner reports changed to match the narrative that he wanted. You talk about corruption, and Keith Ellison is the one who got on Don Lemon's podcast. Then the next day or two after Don Lemon committed a felony and gave Don Lemon legal advice. Now, how is a man paid by the government as the attorney general going to give legal advice to an individual? There's got to be some sort of conflict. There's got to be some sort of ethics violation that he publicly gave legal advice to Don Lemon as an individual when he is paid by the state. I think there's a problem there. He is being investigated. He has an interest in this. Keith Ellison, the whole center of this whole thing is about fraud. You think they give 10 fucks about any of these immigrants? No, they do not. They don't care about these immigrants. They don't care about anybody but themselves and their political agenda. Keith Ellison is knee deep into the fraud that has been going on in Minnesota for years and years and years. He has direct knowledge. He probably has direct involvement. And that's what he is freaking out about. That's what his agenda is. He keeps diverting, but he gave legal advice to his friend Don Lemon, told him he didn't commit a crime, which he absolutely did commit a crime. But then, let's talk about the people that were arrested. The same people that burnt the city down in 2000. Black Lives Matter organization, the Twin Cities Black Lives Matter organization. The organizer, she was arrested, a couple other people. And what does Jacob Fry do, the mayor? He defends her. Now, this church is in the same city. This church has kids that were terrorized by this group of people, and Jacob Fry is calling her a political prisoner. What a disgusting animal. What about the kids that you're supposed to protect, Jacob Fry? What about those kids? What about them? But this is just another one of their lies. I don't know what it's going to take for any of you liberals, especially white liberals, who just keep getting used by all of these disgusting animals like Tim Walz, Jacob Fry, Ilhan Omar, Keith Ellison, and the rest of them. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why can't you see what they continuously do, and they get you to be their mouthpiece, and they give you just believe anything that they say. I mean, let's look at one of the before this happened. Let's look at the 6-month-old that they said that ICE agents tear gassed. Let's look at that the parents were just going home from the grocery store, and ICE agents just pulled up on them and they tear gassed them. Yeah, that didn't happen.
Minneapolis that was so wrongly pepper sprayed by ICE when all they wanted to do was get home with their baby. Yeah, that was absolute bullshit, actually. Turns out they were actually participating in the riot, and we have them on video participating in the riot. There's one of them. You just saw her right there. If you keep watching the video, you'll see the father as well. The funniest thing about this is they made up this whole bullshit story about how they were just passing by. They were just trying to get home with their baby. They were just civilians. They weren't participating. And because of that bullshit story, they started a GoFundMe and managed to raise $200,000. They lied to you, gave you a bullshit narrative so all the liberal content creators on TikTok could make bullshit videos about it. And they scammed you out of $200,000. You know what?
You know why I'm laughing? Because you stupid fucking liberals, they got you again. They got you again. They fill your head up with all these bullshit stories, and they get you every single time. How much more of the lies and how much more are you going to let these animals use you? You gave this. I'm laughing because it's so outrageous. It's funny. It's sad. It's so sad. It's funny. They raised $200,000 off the back of these stupid liberals off of a lie. You brought your 6-month-old to a riot where police are going to use tear gas. The child seriously should be taken away from them for child endangerment. Child Protective Services should intervene and take this child from them. They should not be parents. You brought your kid, a 6-month-old, to a riot. What in the fuck is wrong with you? So the latest lie started yesterday that ICE agents went and arrested and detained. The way the narrative is being set is they went and targeted a 5-year-old to deport a 5-year-old. Because, man, hey, here's the thing. They're trying to they know they keep get caught up in these lies, and then they terrorize the church. They're losing credibility, or they're losing their, they were drawing some conservatives into their, their pity, and people were feeling sorry for them. So, and they started losing it with, they took a big hit Sunday. So now they're like, man, we got to figure something out. We got to find something. And here it is. ICE agents go and arrest a 5-year-old. Well, let's look at that.
A 5-year-old boy that was kidnapped by ICE, along with his father, when they got home from school. And they still had the audacity to try to use him as bait and have him knock on their door to see if anybody else was home that they could take.
That's not what happened. The child was abandoned. Here's what happened, and this is coming directly from Homeland Security. They posted this on X. ICE did not target a child. This child was abandoned. On January 20th, ICE conducted a targeted operation to arrest Adrian Alexander Conejo Arias, an illegal alien from Ecuador who was released into the U.S. by the Biden administration. As agents approached the driver, Adrian fled on foot, abandoning his child. For the child's safety, one of our ICE officers remained with the child while the other officers apprehended him. And when I say him, I mean Adrian. I don't mean the child. Parents are asked if they want to be removed with their children, or ICE will place the children with a safe person the parent designates. This is consistent with past administrations' immigration enforcement. So no, they didn't go target and arrest a 5-year-old. That is a lie. But again, don't let the truth get in the way of the.
So, this happens every day in every city in America. Not immigration, regular law enforcement and arrest. When a law enforcement arrests let me back up before I say that. Let me back up to this incident. He ran from the police and left his 5-year-old son by himself. What in the fuck were these ICE agents supposed to do? Leave him in the cold? You stupid fucking liberals, leave him in the cold? No. So again, law enforcement officers deal with this every single day in every city in America, not on ICE arrests, on regular arrests. If they arrest somebody, say they arrest somebody for a DWI on a traffic stop. They have a 5-year-old kid. You're supposed to leave them there? No, they take custody of the kid and they put him in a safe place. And typically, and I'm speaking firsthand, I did this 30 years. They asked the father, hey, who do you want me to bring your child to? Hey, bring him to his grandma, bring him to his mom, bring him to a sister, bring him to a friend. That's what happened here. And that's what happens every single day. But the liberals spin it. So we got a Mama Luke of the day. Mama Luke of the day, or uneducated, stupid liberals. Come on, I'm going to plead with you one more time here. Please quit letting these animals like Tim Walz, Keith Ellison, Ilhan Omar, Jacob Fry, and the rest of them use you. They're using you because you're simple. They laugh at you. You're a simple-minded idiot, and they're using you. They don't care about you. They don't give a fuck about you at all. They're just using you. So please stop letting them use you, you stupid fucking Mama Luke. So that's all I got for you today. I will be back Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Probably won't be on the patio. It's going to be cold here in Southwest Louisiana. We've got that Arctic freeze coming. I hope each of you stay warm. Hope your family stays safe. Truly mean that. I don't even care. Even if you're a liberal, I hope you and your family stay safe. Until then, remember, hey, prepare for yourself, because remember now, nobody's coming to save you. The world does not give a fuck. McGee is out.